Greetings once again, pirates on the high seas. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with another chapter of One Piece, where previously, as Morgan lays out his plans to release the information about the various goings on of across the world, Law versus Blackbeard, Kid versus Shank, and Luffy's assassination of Dr. Vegapunk. Naturally, Vivi opposes this, despite Morgan threatening her refuge upon his vessel. Meanwhile, we see Sentomaru escaping Egghead in a rowboat, while Kizaru takes a call from Sakazuki as everyone is passed out, with Sakazuki demanding to know what happened. Kizaru doesn't really want to go into details, but as Sakazuki continues to press him, questioning whether or not he actually did his job, Kizaru actually gets emotional for the first time ever that we've seen, mad about the friend he had no choice but to kill for the sake of justice. Meanwhile, the remnant of said friend, Lilith, awakens upon the giant warrior's ship, and while at first the Straw Hats tried to inform Lilith about what happened, she seems to receive a signal about what went down, and while she does mourn the loss of her compatriot, she does tell the Straw Hats that technically Vegapunk is still alive, maybe simply through Lilith, or maybe through Punk Record. Meanwhile, we see an unknown figure waiting on Elbaf. Is it for the Straw Hats or someone else? Join me as I find out, won't you? Right, One Piece chapter 1125. What death means, which, man, that's a bit of an ominous title. We see Yamato hanging out outside of, okay, so it is Odin's castle. Okay, I wondered if, are they rebuilding Odin's castle after what Kaido did? Dang. But it's Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage Volume 13, the rebuilding of Odin Castle and Foreman Minotomo's disappearance. Okay, so it's not just women who are being abducted, it's men too? What is going on? There's some weird mystery going on in Wano. How strange. Though this might be what it takes for Yamato to be seen as a hero in Wano, not just for aiding in the battle against Kaido. But let's jump into the chapter proper. We cut to the outskirts of Egghead with the marine vessels, with a report coming in saying, "Get the Seraphim to the ships after they're charged up. As for the Sea Beast weapons and PX-3s, but a government agent says, "Oh, Rob Lucci and Kaku. And wait, where's Stussy?" As Lucci and Kaku board the vessel, Lucci simply says, "I killed her." With the government agent saying, "What?" Which, that's total bullshit. There's no way that went down and we didn't even see it. More than likely, Lucci made an exception because she helped out Kaku, despite everything that went down. But where did Stussy end up, I wonder? Meanwhile, aboard St. Saturn's vessel, he addresses the Vice Admiral saying, "We are now in possession of what we came for. York, Punk Records, the power plant. With these three, we gain the Mother Flame, a fire that never goes out. For the present moment, this is acceptable. However," Red King says, "We are sorry, so sorry, sir." Tosa responds, "There were 9 of us Vice Admirals executing a buster call." While Doverman says, "And we still allowed the Straw Hat crew and Jewelry Bonnie to escape the island alive. We will head straight after them to Elbaf." But Saturn says, "Don't bother with Elbaf. If there was any failure here to blame this on, it was the colossal failure to envision Vegapunk's broadcast message. And not only did we fail to stop that message, there is the bitter irony that the pirates' escape was aided by none other than that Iron Giant." Oh, okay, so we're not even keeping any pretense about how old these elders live, because we cut to about 200 years ago where Saint Saturn is talking to some researchers who say, "But Saint Saturn, we've been ordered to dispose of that thing. If anyone finds out," Saturn says, "If anyone finds out, I'll protect you. Research it." The scientists say, "Huh?" Saturn says, "That giant represents the future. It will prove very useful to the military one day." Saturn, you dumbass! He kept the Iron Giant around to study it. I mean, I get it to a certain extent, but damn, dude. Oh man, if Eam finds out he was behind that. The scientists say, "Thank you, my lord. were endlessly fascinated with it. Saturn thinks to himself, for 200 years it never budged an inch, until now when it clearly moved to protect Straw Hat Luffy. Doberman then says, Saint Saturn, I ask you this as a soldier in service to the government. If you consider that a failure, then would that suggest that Vegapunk's statement was true? Oh geez. Saturn gives Doberman a stern look, and next thing you know, Doberman is being flung bloody out the door. Guillotine shouts, Vice Admiral Doberman! In shock, he calls out, get the medical team, now! Vice Admiral! Meanwhile, back in the lavophage. What? Oh! He's still alive! Mother... And it couldn't be Atlas. Okay, so we pick up with York inside the lab as clouds suddenly fill where she's at. Is it, ugh, what's this? Island clouds? She comes to a shocking realization saying, oh no, the island clouds are multiplying. Has the cloud plant gone out of control? She aims her rifle saying, it's Edison. He was supposed to be dead in the fabriophage. Edison says, oops. Busted. But as York fires, and she does hit around where Punk Records is, she can only look on, saying, damn it, he tricked me. Well, there goes Punk Records, as we see Punk Records ascend up into the heaven, out of reach. Okay, so kept wondering, because they had access to Punk Records, oh god, what's gonna happen? But now, it's clear out of their reach. Wow. So they don't even have Punk Records now. Oh, Garlic? Okay, so we pick up in the land of Sacred Mary Joa, where one of the celestial dragons says, what does this mean? Was Vegapunk's story true? Where is Akainu? How will he make good for his failure with Kuma? The world may sink under the sea, but that shouldn't matter to the Holy Land. While another one says, it's not enough food. Duh. I requested beef for dinner, chef. What is this? What is this fish for? The chef says, forgive me, my lord, we've run out. And while the man's stomach rumbles, the dragon pulls out a gun saying, I've never been so humiliated. And it fires, and someone screams as the chef's body hits the floor. The dragons start arguing amongst themselves, saying, we have a serious food shortage. Would you believe that yesterday I was forced to forego one of my meals and a snack? Another says, what? It's a prisoner's diet. Another, it's famine. We'll all starve. Another, put whoever's in charge of food to death. While another says, it's mismanagement. If there is no punishment, the lower classes will think this laziness is acceptable. Let them eat cake, I say. Meanwhile, in the Chamber of Power in Marijoa, Garling enters, but one of the elders asks, what do you think you're doing here, Garling? Garling marches forward saying, I am here on important orders. Orkery questions, what orders? From whom? Jupiter questions, where's your proper deference, Garling? While Mars says, know your place. But Venushiro then kind of cocks his head questioningly. Oh, really? Okay. Okay, I'll talk about when I get to that page, but fair enough. Garling removes his glasses, saying, Vegapunk York is henceforth my direct subordinate, as I assume the role of Godhead of Science and Defense. Much to the shock of the elders, Mars questions, you mean? And as Garling sits down, much to the shock of the elders, Garling tells them, the world will be thrown into chaos on a level we have never seen before. Let us do the utmost to improve it together, my fellow elders. 5 elders, Saint Figurling, Garling, Godhead of Science and Defense. And Jupiter has a look that tells him this can only mean one thing. As we cut back to the future island of Egghead, the Vice Admirals call out, Saint Saturn! Saint Saturn cries out in pain. As the Vice Admirals say, what is the matter, Saint Saturn? Saint Saturn kneels on the ground, coughing as black smoke emanates from his body. Urban cries out, hurry, get a medical team! While Guillotine calls out to Saint Saturn. Dahl looks on in shock, questioning, what's happening to him? He's been let go. He's been allowed to live a very long life, but been one too many failures, one after another. He's been severed, as it were. But does this mean they are kind of like what a lot of people were suspecting, like satellites of Eam to some degree? God dang. Holy shit. Urban calls out, this is an emergency. Nothing must happen to the highest authority in the world. They all look on as Saturn chokes. Hound questions, is he sick with something? Altosa questions, what do you need, Saint Saturn? Oh God. Holy shit. Saturn begins to wither as he cries out in pain. Saturn mentally questions, have I been? While the vice admirals can only watch in horror as Saturn mentally begs, Great Im, while Im tells him, Saturn, why did you allow Joy Boy to escape? Saturn mentally begs, mercy, please, I did not know those powers were so nebulous. Great E, but he cries out in pain as darkness and what looks like hockey erupts from his body. The vice admirals are all sent flying backward. Holy crap. And you see a skull ladder onto the floor. The vice admirals are stunned silent, with the only one able to speak being Tosa, who gives one question. Bones? Holy crap. I mean, yeah, look, I kind of believe that maybe Im wasn't going to do too much to him as long as, hey, we had Punk Records, we killed Vegapunk, there was no way of knowing any of this was going to happen. A lot of things slipped through our fingers, but yeah, technically Saturn really dropped the ball on a lot of this, but, you know, enough of it could kind of maybe be forgiven, but then it's, oh, he allowed the Iron Giant to continue existing, and now Punk Records is out of reach, and all this other stuff, and it's just like, oh no, he gonna die. Oof. Well, damn. See, I wasn't sure though, because I'm just like, are we really just gonna lose one of the 5 elders? I mean, I should know by now. When you lose one always rises to take their place. And for it to be Garling, oh my god, are we gonna... But how? What power does Im have that allows him to do all of this? To allow these men to live for so long? To have the powers that they have? What does it mean to become one of the elders? Holy crap. Freaking ghastly. Oh. Wait, what? I mean, technically, yeah, it makes sense because they're all in Punk Record. Death doesn't really mean anything to them to a certain degree. Oh god, is that all their extra parts in? Oh my, yeah, that's kind of creepy when you actually look at it. Wait, but okay, I need to take this one step at a time. We pick up with the floating Punk Records. Shaka saying, so we weren't able to steal the Labophage. Atlas says, damn it, York blocked us. Pythagoras says, our mental waves will reach anywhere though. York still has access here. Edison says, I know, but it's better than physically handing it over to her, right? Let's work together to manage this genius brain until the day humanity can wrangle it themselves. Shaka says, that will take 500 years. Did you make the island clouds the floating type? Edison says, of course. As far as the world knows, Vegapunk is dead. Now we can tour the globe at our leisure. While Pythagoras says, but we don't have funds or materials, so we can't invent or develop anything. While Edison says, hey, that's what friends are for. As he cobbles together parts from all the various different Punk, the head of Edison, the body of Shaka, the left arm of Atlas, and the right arm with Pythagoras, as well as his jetpack. As Edison puts on the arm, he says, there, how's that? God, that body is so weird. Atlas laughs, saying, you look so goofy. While Shaka says, I didn't know you admired my height so much. While Edison says, hey, stuff it. While Atlas says, make sure you throw out the extra York parts. While Edison says, good call, leaves a bad impression. It's so weird to have this hall of Atlas's face and Edison's head and Pythagoras's head and Shaka heads and York bodies, which are just these busty... Ugh, it's freaky. And what the hell? Edison then radios over, hello, Weatheria? This is Vegapunk. Well, Harada says, what do you want? I thought you were dead. I mean, I guess it makes sense that they know each other, but, yeah, the way that Weatheria functions, in a realm where the government can't reach them in the clouds, and, yeah, geez, I guess that makes sense. Oh, dang. I'm sorry, I'm just, so many things are running through my mind right now. Oh god, and then this. We pick up in the Kamabaka Queendom. There's a big commotion. People saying, ew, no, what's gonna happen? Are we gonna die? But I don't wanna. I choose life. I'll swim to live. We pick up at a table with Koala, writing everything down, surrounded by the captains and vice captains of the Revolutionary Army. And she says, so basically, in the history no one knows about, there was a massive war during the Void Century, and the use of ancient weapons during that war caused the world to sink 200 meters into the sea. Whoever manages to seize the One Piece and become king of the pirates will have that power at their command once more. Bello Betty says, and we can't sit around waiting for that to happen. A world sinking into the sea. Sabo then comments, and when you consider that the celestial dragons live at the world's highest elevation on the red line, Ivankov realizes Tequila Wolf, Vodka Wolf, Rum Wolf, Bourbon Wolf, all of those mega structures. Wait, there's more than one bridge being constructed? Tequila Wolf, Vodka Wolf, Rum Wolf, and Bourbon Wolf? What the hell? God, there's more than one of them. One was already terrible enough, and it sucks that it seemed to just go back to business as usual after years pass. But to know that there's 4 of them in total, that they've had slaves constructing go back 700 years. Karasu says, all of these things now hold a new meaning. Lindbergh comments, he just had to go and say it. While Morley says, oh no. While Dragon, once again probably looking towards the east, says, the problem, Vegapunk, is that not everyone who believes your warning is going to prepare for the looming disaster peacefully. This demands a swift resolution, because it won't be long before the people of the world begin to fight over safe ground. That's actually a very good point. Now that people know that the world is sinking, and I've heard other YouTubers and theorists talk about this, won't a fight for higher ground take place? But wouldn't that fight take place over the red line? And there's so many questions now, though. What ended up happening to Stussy? Where was she? Where did she go? It feels obvious Lucci didn't actually kill her, but still, there's no way that actually happened off screen. Confirmation fully that the elders have lived for hundreds of years, at the very least 200. I wonder who's the oldest and who's the youngest, though. But man, Saturn made a lot of mistakes, all things considered. Shoot, even the creation of Bonnie and what she could do, just oof. The food shortage is starting to affect the nobles, so the downside there is that a lot of people are going to get hurt in the process, though. On the one hand, it's giving the people more of a reason to rise up, with a lot of the celestial dragons no longer being able to be placated because of the food shortage. Ooh, man, a whole lot's gonna happen in Marie-Joie, tell you that much. But was that simply, the thing that happened with Saturn, was that simply taking away his immortality? Or did Im actually suck the life out of him too? Would he have no longer, if it was that, hey, just been a few years and Im rejected Garling, would Garling turn to bones too, despite the fact that he was still within his normal lifespan? How does it all work? What is Im's power? What do the elders become? Is there some kind of process by which you become an elder? Is Garling gonna suddenly have spider features too? Or does he become something else? And did Doberman die? And all the punks are now cobbled together back in one body, which is kind of hilarious. Well, most of the punks. And so Lilith has a direct connection to them. But now Lilith is out on her own. Dang. And though now York is under protection of Garling, will Garling be kind of pissed off about the fact that, hey, we lost Punk Records, but we still technically have a Vegapunk, and they can't fully sever York's connection to Punk Records either. I wonder how that's all gonna shake out. I mean, York did only lose Punk Records. They still have access to the Mother Flame, right? And how does Herodotus factor into this? Did he know Vegapunk back in the day? But isn't he a Birkin, I heard? And another 500 years before Punk Records is able to be accessed by humanity. Good. Maybe by that point, humanity will have its shit together a little bit. And I wouldn't hold my breath on that, but still, I think Punk Records in and of itself, yeah, that needs to just go. On the one hand, a lot of the punks are back, but on the other hand, the Stella is still dead. he's not in that kind of group communication. So the primary Vegapunk body is still dead, but his brain is still alive, and his punk dead. Oof. The concept of that is oof. And the revelation that there are so many structures being built by slaves. Tequila Wolf was bad enough, but vodka, rum, bourbon wolf, and man, so many people dying for that crap. That actually makes it exponentially worse. Like, Tequila Wolf was bad in and of itself, but so many. And will Dragon actually be making its move? And what move will that be? Will the revolutionaries try to go after the One Piece? Will they try to keep the peace? Will they continue with the various revolutions going on around the world? Are they going to try to direct people who are now panicking? Like Dragon said, Vegapunk set off a violent chain of events to come. Some people might go about living their lives being like, well, what can we really do? But others, chaos and panic, mass hysteria, dogs and cats living together. I mean, hell, it's happening on Wano. They're there instead of, still governing Zoe and allowing Carrot to go off with the Straw Hats. Yes, I'm still salty about that, but still, a lot has happened. A lot's going on. A lot has changed in the world. And we keep being at the end of Egghead until the next chapter, which is the end of Egghead, until the next chapter, which is the end of Egghead, until the next chapter, which is the end of Egghead. So I keep saying, like, okay, now on to Elbaf, because it's really hard to know what other information can we get out of all this. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.